Getting the harder way 7T back with another EP. And y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy as you roll on in. Y'all smash that like button for your boy as you roll on in. Today we here for, we here for a good time, here for a long time. I ain't gonna be here too long. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too long, but I do, want to rap about something that's been on my mind. You know what I mean? Speedy Rashida Ellis, just had a fight this past weekend, right? You know what I mean? Just to piggyback off something he said in the lead up, to his fight this weekend. Shout out Speedy Rashida Ellis. Speedy Rashida did a damn good job, you know what I mean, in his fight this weekend. Now, true enough, it was a replacement fighter, you know what I mean? But I'm not one who's going to Judah Benn. Judah Benn, what's good? I'm not one who's going to hold, Speedy Rashida Ellis, you know what I mean, at fault because the opponent that he tried to fight, you know what I mean, had to pull out the fight. So I ain't going to hold that against Speedy Rashida Ellis, you know what I mean? But Speedy Rashida Ellis, he did come in, a few pounds, overweight, to say the least, you know what I mean? That's a bad look, when you say the things that you said in the lead up into your fight. You know what I mean? Real quick, I also heard through the rumor mill, that Speedy Rashida Ellis and his opponent had agreed, to come in at their weight. So it wasn't that he missed weight, is that both fighters had agreed that, they would come in upon that agreed upon weight. You know what I mean? But Speedy Rashida Ellis in the lead up to his fight, he has some real interesting things to say about Jerome Boots Ennis. And normally, when people say things like this about fighters, like Jerome Boots Ennis, I think most of the time, is them blowing smoke. But to give respect to Speedy Rashida Ellis, I never, took that route with Speedy Rashida Ellis. I respect Speedy Rashida Ellis, too much as a fighter, to ever say that he's just, blowing smoke or that he's clout chasing, you know what I mean, type deal. Got way too much respect for Speedy Rashida Ellis for that. But Speedy Rashida Ellis, he was talking, kind of greasy towards the way of Jerome Boots Ennis. And the way I never heard, nobody really talk at Jerome Boots Ennis. You know what I mean? And I'm not the one, to hold fighters' hand or, piggyback fighters or nothing like that. But, the words that he chose to use was good, Ghost. Appreciate you sliding through this, young Ghost. Shout out my guy Judah Benn. Appreciate you sliding through. My guy Judah Benn said, but I've been thinking about this. What will the Spence versus Bullcroft on the card look like? Exactly. This is why we here today, Judah. Judah. Shout out to you, Judah. Appreciate you sliding through this joint, Judah. Shout out my guy Ghost. Appreciate you sliding through this joint. Says Speedy Rashida Ellis is not fighting Boots because Showtime already declined the fight. Yeah, I know, Ghost, but that ain't what we here talking about, Ghost. That ain't what we're here talking about. Good. I'm cooking right now. Y'all listen to me for a second. Y'all see where I'm going, right? So, Speedy Rashida Ellis, he had a lot to say, in the lead up, to his that's not what I'm saying at all, Ghost. That's not what I'm not saying that they gonna make this fight at all. Don't got nothing to do with them. Don't got nothing to do with them at all. I want y'all to listen to me for a second. I want y'all, to hear what I'm saying first for a second. You know what I mean? Before y'all come in here shoot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But yeah, he's I know I'm pushing in the agenda. You go get it. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? I'm saying like Speedy Rashida, had a whole lot to say, you know what I mean, leading up into the fight and leading up into his fight over this past weekend, which Speedy Rashida Ellis looked good in. You know what I mean? He looked good in his fight, leading up into this weekend, right? But in the lead up to the fight, they asked him, about the fighters that he wanted, in the 147-pound division. Of course, Speedy Rashida Ellis. Said, Earl, but I want to be a champion. I want to fight the best and all that. But in particular, when it got around to Jerome Boost Ennis, well, actually, I ain't gonna say that because Speedy Rashidi Ellis had a lot to say, about a lot of fights. He said he'll beat a lot of the fighters in the division. You know what I mean? But he in particular, when it got to Jerome Boost Ennis, he stated that he felt like that Jerome Boost Ennis wouldn't win the round against him. Speedy Rashidi Ellis, and then to Speedy Rashidi Ellis credit, right? He went out there this Saturday, right, and he put on. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. I'm kind of disappointed. The only thing that I'm disappointed in with Speedy Rashidi Ellis this weekend is that his real opponent dropped out and they had to put in a replacement fighter. And Speedy Rashidi Ellis didn't necessarily get the rounds that he needed. He went in there and he knocked that guy out. But I can't even blame, Speedy Rashidi Ellis for that because, that wasn't the guy that he was intending on fighting. You know what I mean? Y'all do your boy a favor as y'all roll on in. Y'all smash that like button for your boy. I don't know if this is your first time, but don't make it your last time. If you could, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? But yeah, Speedy Rashidi, Speedy Rashidi, he got him out of there fairly quickly. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying, and with the weight thing, right? Somebody had told me earlier. I mean, not earlier, but earlier in the week. About a week or so ago. It broke that Speedy Rashidi Ellis, had missed weight, right? But somebody told me, earlier in the week that him and his opponent had agreed, to come in, at that weight. You know what I mean? Because they both didn't feel like it was a need for them to have to get all the way down, to the limit. So they agreed to come in that weight, right? So for you to already, come in a little heavy, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, for you not to be able to, get the rounds that you really need to get, you know what I mean, to shake the rust off, to whip yourself into shape. Because Speedy Rashidi Ellis is coming off a 2-year layoff himself, a year and a half, going through contractual or, obligations with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. Skywalker, appreciate you sliding through this, young Skywalker. Glad you could make it. TWT in the building. Shout out to my brother Skywalker. Drop flames on these bitches one time. I appreciate you sliding through this, John Skywalker. Glad you can make it. But yeah, you know what I mean? I feel like with Speedy Rashidi Ellis, having to come off that layoff, you know what I mean? And then him going in there, already a little over the 147-pound limit because, he said before the fight, you know what I mean, that if he fought Boots, Boots won't win the round. So if you go in there with Boots, you and Boots not going to come in above the limit necessarily. You know what I mean? So you will have to be on weight. So, I'm not saying that, that him and his opponent didn't agree that they will come in that weight. At that weight, I'm just saying, with you already being a couple pounds heavy and you going in there and you getting a replacement fighter out of there like that, you know what I mean? That's I think that right there in itself, wasn't necessarily, a good thing. I wish his original opponent, could have went through with the fight, but he had to pull out whatsoever. I think he just didn't want to get knocked out by Speedy Rashidi Ellis, but that's just me. But nonetheless, Speedy Rashidi Ellis did look good. You know what I mean? So they got me to thinking, they really got me to thinking type deal. We got the Earl Spence and Bud Crawford fight, you know what I mean, in the weights, in the mist, in the air, you know what I mean, type deal. And the undercard, people have been questioning, like there's people who's questioning the Earl Spence and Bud Crawford fight altogether. You know what I mean? There's people who's questioning if that fight's going to happen all together type deal. And then you got the people saying, well, who gonna be on the undercard? You know what I mean? And I'm just sitting here, thinking to myself in my bag, you know what I mean, type deal. And I'm in this certainty, this gonna take a minute. I'm gonna be here for a minute because I don't got nothing but time. Eventually I'm gonna get up and go outside, roll up a blunt and all that good shit, and we gonna do it like that. But I'm gonna walk y'all down the road with this. This certainty, I want to hit on a lot of different stuff. I feel like this one particular fight that you see up here and that second fight that you see in the title, you know what I mean? And I'm going to eventually get there, being a Stanionis, but I'm going to get there. But right now I'm on Ennis and Ellis. You know what I mean? This fight that you see in the picture, I feel like this fight right here, this answers, a whole lot of questions, you know what I mean, pertaining the 147-pound division, pertaining Jerome Boots Ennis, pertaining Speedy Rashida Ellis himself, pertaining Connor Benn, and pertaining, you know what I mean, Stanionis. These are two fights that you see up here in my title. Now, I'm not saying that these fights are going to happen. You know what I mean? Of course, they're not going to happen, Southern T, because they make way too much sense. And fights that make sense, don't happen in boxing for whatever reason. But I want y'all to stay with me for a minute. I don't want to get too far ahead. You know what I mean? Jerome Boots Ennis and Speedy Rashida Ellis. For years, you know what I mean? Especially, the last year or so, the last year and a half, 2 years strong, we've been out here, looking for that guy, outside of Earl Spence, outside of Bud Crawford, man, who we go to put in the ring with Jerome Boots Ennis? Who we go put in the ring with Jerome Boots Ennis? And, we'll get the naming people. But, the guy that a lot of people, always said, the one that always kind of, made sense. Now, let's just be real. We don't think nobody necessarily, right, outside of Earl and Bud, right, will actually beat Jerome Boots Ennis right now. You know what I mean? Do we? But who would give him, the best shot? Who has the best chance at Jerome Boots Ennis? When we get to asking that, we throw out Keith Thurman, who I don't think, really got a shot. I think he just, a look too old type deal. They throw out Ugas. He older than Keith Thurman. I don't think he really stand a chance. Now, true enough, anybody outside of Earl Spence and Bud Crawford, I really can't see beating Jerome Boots Ennis. It really just don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? But we all know in the back of all our mind, God Israel, what's good, pimp? Appreciate you sliding through this, young God Israel. Glad you can make it. Shout out my guy, God Israel. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. In the back of our mind, there's always that one name that, everybody, and this not just me, I'm not just pulling this out of the straws. I done heard, more than me just say this. Cursor, what's good, pimp? Appreciate you sliding through this junk cursor. Y'all do your boy a favor, smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. This ain't just me, saying this. I done heard this on multiple sites and multiple places, you know what I mean? Speedy Rashida Ellis. Speedy Rashida Ellis, might be able to beat Boots. You know what I mean? I think he got a shot. You know what I mean? He got quick hands. You know what I mean? He got that pop. And this fight over this weekend just showed you that, he still got that pop. And this fight over this weekend just showed you that Speedy Rashida Ellis, still got them quick hands. Now, am I saying that I think Speedy Rashida Ellis beat Jerome Boots Ennis? Now, I won't go as far out on the limb as to say that, you know what I mean? But I also won't go as far out on the limb as to say that that Jerome Boots Ennis would dog Speedy Rashida Ellis the way that Jerome Boots Ennis been dogging his opponents this fourth. You know what I mean? Type deal. Speedy Rashida Ellis. And I got this from my brother Just Do. My brother Cursor said that's a dope ass fight. Yeah, right. That's why, I'm getting to it. And I ain't even got on the back end yet. Y'all do your boy a favor, smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Yeah, right, Cursor. That's what I'm getting to. We finna talk about it. God Idris said they need to fight, though. Yeah, they do. They both young and up and comers. Yep, facts. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't go as far and say I think Boots, would do him like he's done his other opponents. And I won't go as far as to say I think Speedy Rashida Ellis will beat Jerome Boots Ennis. But what I will go as far as to say is Speedy Rashida Ellis does actually want this fight. This is a fight that Speedy Rashida Ellis said that he's interested in. And I borrowed this from my brother Just Do. I always like, when fighters fight the people that want to fight them and not when they necessarily pick their fighters. I'm going to say that again. I like when fighters fight the people that want to fight them. You know what I mean? Don't go just, find the guy to fight and then fight them. Fight the guys, who calling your name. Fight the guys, who at least, we think will give you resistance or who portray that, they will give you, you know what I mean, some resistance. It's something different when you go in there with a guy, who's not afraid of you or a guy who's not going to back down from you. You know what I mean? Type deal. I feel like Speedy Rashida Ellis, like I said, like I alluded to earlier. Now the guy he fought over the weekend wasn't any world beater or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But Jerome Booth Ennis hasn't beat any world beaters. In their prime. You know what I mean? Speedy Rashida Ellis is in his prime, and I think I go out on the limb and say this. I think Speedy Rashida Ellis, you know what I mean, will beat the people that Jerome Booth Ennis beat on his resume at the time that Jerome Booth Ennis beat him. I will go out on the limb and I say that I think if Jerome Booth Ennis was to beat Speedy Rashida Ellis, if we talking prime, actual in the fight, because I think Speedy Rashida Ellis would beat Lipinets. I think Speedy Rashida Ellis would beat Thomas Dollar, man. I think Speedy Rashida Ellis would beat Van Herten. I think he would beat Castile Clayton. You know what I mean? I think he beat those guys too. You know what I mean? If we put Speedy Rashida Ellis and Jerome Booth Ennis in the ring with each other, I feel like that'll be Jerome Booth Ennis' hardest fight. You know what I mean? Right now. Hold on, my bad. Bullshit. Let me get y'all back right. My bad. Kirsten said, even if one of them took an L right now on another, they are so talented and young, they can come back and be greater. You know what I mean? You're right. Right. Shout out to my brother G5. Appreciate you sliding through this junk. TWT in the building. Glad you can make it, fam. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Fields. Glad you can make. I'm in this thing, just letting y'all in my head for a second while I've been thinking about, in a perfect world, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that this fight is going to happen, but what I'm saying is listen to me for a second, and it'll all make sense to you, once we get, to the end of where we're going. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just about fighting people that that want to fight you. People who actually want to fight you, people who don't fear you, those are the people who are going to give you the best fights. And Speedy Rashida Ellis showed you that even if he come in a little overweight off a layoff, he still possess, that speed and that power. So let him keep working out. If you want to slide him in another fight, you know what I mean, real quick, cool. But cool, throw him in there with like another replacement, let him shake loose a little bit more. Nothing too serious, but just to let him get some rounds under his belt. You know what I mean? Uh, Earl Spence and Bud Crawford. They got a fight coming up. A lot of people, getting antsy about Earl and Bud. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? D Free, what's good, D Free? Appreciate you sliding through this junk. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. D Free, TWT, what's good, fam? Appreciate you sliding through. TWT in the building. You know what I'm saying? You could put him back in there with the guy he was supposed to fight originally. You know what I mean? He shouldn't take too much damage. He only fought one round. Let him shake loose real quick. And then Earl and Bud got a fight coming up, right? We looking for undercard fights for that fight, right? Why not go ahead and throw Speedy Rashida Ellis and Jerome Booth Ennis on the card with Earl Spence and Bud Crawford? And I'm gonna tell y'all this answer a whole bunch of questions. This answer a lot of questions. This answer a bunch of questions. Can Booth be beat? You know what I mean? Can Booth be beat? Because there's a lot of people out here who don't even think Jerome Booth Ennis can be beat by Bud or Earl. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it, you know what I mean? Fair. I'm being fair-minded about it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people who feel like Booth beat Earl and Bud. It's some people who don't feel like nobody beat Booth but Earl or Bud. You know what I mean? Type deal. So, it's a mixed bag out here. You know what I mean? But I think you know what I mean, it's always that one guy in the back of our mind. I think it's everybody. And especially with Speedy Rashida Ellis coming out saying the things that he said leading up into that fight. Now, I'm not the one who's going to say, Boots to say something back to Speedy Rashida Ellis. You know what I mean? I'm not the one who's going to say that. What's good, Kufa? Appreciate you sliding through this, John. Sure. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. If you ain't already subscribed to the channel, do your boy a favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If this your first time, don't make it your last time if you could. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? Type there. But yeah, Speedy Rashidi Speedy Rashidi and Jerome Booth Ennis. I think that's about that's about as good as a co-man you can get. We already know the PBC and Showtime like throwing Jerome Booth Ennis, on the co-mains as well deserved. Jerome Booth Ennis is an extremely exciting fighter. You know what I mean? I get it. It makes perfect sense type deal. Put him on there. What I'm saying this time is, put him in the ring with Speedy Rashid Ellis. He's the guy who called out for this fight. I think he's a formidable opponent. Will be his best opponent to date. And this is what I was saying. This answers a lot of questions. A lot of questions in this division. You already got Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? Who's a little skeptical to fight Jerome Booth Ennis. You know what I mean? We know he's not gonna fight Speedy Rashidi. He gonna say Speedy Rashidi, don't bring enough, you know what I mean, to the table type deal. But he's a little skeptical on fighting Jerome Booth Ennis right now. Is Keith Thurman right? We had Sean Porter saying, "Man, I'm not fighting Jerome Booth Ennis." We had Danny Garcia saying, "I'm not fighting Jerome Booth Ennis." You know what I mean? We already know Bud Crawford not going to fight Jerome Booth Ennis because he has no reason to. You know what I mean? Spence is a possible in everybody, man. He may fight him, but Spence already said, years ago, even before this, and he said since then, that he's still, he's going to, if he can't get this fight, you know what I mean, or after the Bud fight, he's going to move up to 154. You know what I mean? Type deal. So nobody right now, is really lined up to fight Jerome Booth Ennis. So let's just say technically by chance, right, that right now nobody wants to fight Jerome Booth Ennis, right? Well, we got Speedy Rashid Ellis who's saying that he does want to fight Jerome Booth Ennis. Earl Spence and Bud Crawford, have a fight, pending, have a fight coming up. Some people feel like, the fight's going to happen. Some people don't feel like the fight's going to happen. I'm sold on the date that October 29th. You know what I mean? I'm sold that Bud Crawford is already in on the fight. Earl Spence is already in on the fight because they both told us that they're already in on the fight. I think, we're just waiting for a formal announcement. But from what I'm hearing, my sources from the field that I'm getting around, from what I'm seeing, I feel like that fight, is as good as done. And if that fight is as good as done, like I think it is, my guy Kufa said best southpaws on the same card. You know what I mean? Shout out my guy Kufa sliding through this joint. He said, I think Rashida in Boots is a must fight. Yeah, there we go. It will determine a lot. Yep, there we go, God Israel. You know what I mean? I think it'll answer a lot of questions. It'll answer that bail. Nobody wants to fight Boots. No, well, Speedy Rashidi Ellis, just filled that void for us. I say put him in. I'm not saying is Speedy Rashidi Ellis faster than Boots. Is Speedy Rashidi Ellis, more powerful than Boots? Let's say that we give Jerome Boots Ennis the power edge, right? But we just seen Speedy Rashidi Ellis, power this weekend. You know what I mean? So he ain't no slouch when it comes to that power. Mike Biggs, TWT, what's good, fam? Appreciate you sliding through this, John. I love when my TWT fam come through the building. Mike Biggs, what's good, fam? What's good, fam? Love. My bad. I love when my TWT fan come through the building. DP Rocker, what's good, pimp? Appreciate you sliding through this, John DP. Glad you could make it, pimp. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. What's good, DP? Glad you can make it. Jay Brown said should be a good one. Whoever gets out first, it could be an early night. Boost will get hit from all angles. He's going to have to really focus because Ellis is fast as hell. There you go. That's what I'm saying, man. It's gonna be good. And again, I'm not. What's good, Jay Brown? Jay Brown. I don't know if this is your first time, Jay Brown, but if you could, Jay Brown, do your boy a favor. Could you like the video and subscribe to the channel? I don't know if this is your first time, but if you could, not make it your last time. If you could, Brody, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Jay Gibson, what's good? TWT in the building. The fam coming through here. Love it when the fam come through here. Drop the flames one time. Johnny Q, appreciate you sliding through this, John fam. Glad you can make it when this thing cooking on the ultimate undercard, for the ultimate fight of the year. And what I think is the best division, you know what I mean, in boxing. And I'm gonna say that again. What I think is the best division, you know what I mean, in boxing. I'm just in here, in my own thoughts, in my own bag. I ain't saying that this fight go happen, but I'm saying, in the perfect world, but this world ain't perfect, and especially not in boxing where doing shit that makes sense, never seem to transpire because it never seems to make sense. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? This fight right here will answer, a lot of questions. You know what I mean? This fight will answer a whole lot of questions as far as, this division go. It'll answer a lot of questions about Boots. It'll answer a lot of questions about Speedy Rashida Ellis. And this would be a fight where I don't feel like that Jerome Boots Ennis would just have the upper hand, from top to bottom. Is Jerome Boots Ennis faster than Speedy Rashida Ellis? I think it's a question. Now let's say we give Jerome Boots Ennis the power edge again. Let's say we give Jerome Boots Ennis the power edge. Speedy Rashida Ellis still has formidable power. I tell you this, Jerome Boots Ennis won't be able to just walk through Speedy Rashida Ellis punches like he was able to walk through a Sergey Lipinets punches. You know what I mean? This is going to be a little different fight. And Speedy Rashida Ellis, doesn't have, the best resume or the biggest names on his resume or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So, no, this wouldn't be a glamorous fight. You know what I mean? For Jerome Boots Ennis, but this would be, one of the more competitive fights I think that he could have outside of Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. You know what I mean? Maybe you throw Keith Thurman in there. I feel like this may, at this point in Keith Thurman's career, be a more competitive fight than Boots versus Keith Thurman, Boots versus Speedy Rashida Ellis. You know what I mean? So again, we in the wakes of Earl and Bud. Why not throw this on the undercard of the best fight of the biggest fight at the 147-pound division, Earl and Bud? Why not throw this fight up there? You know what I mean? Put somebody in the ring with Jerome Boots Ennis that actually, want to fight him. Somebody who actually, able to keep up with him, with his hands or whatnot. And let's see if this is the guy, that could test Jerome Boots Ennis. If Jerome Boots Ennis is able to walk through Speedy Rashida Ellis the way he just been walking through everybody else, then you damn right. Don't nobody else need to fight him but Earl or Bud, or they need to vacate and let that man collect all his belts because that division is his, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? Johnny Q said, yep, I'm tired of being getting away scot-free. He need to fight Keith Boots or Stank on it. You know what I mean? We go get, I'm finna roll it on to that one, since we own the 147-pound division. You know what I mean? We own the 147-pound division anyway. You know what I mean? Y'all hold on for just 1 second. I'm finna run to the bathroom. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. I'm back. I'm back. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. Okay, back. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, we go get into cutting, but let me go and get into cutting bit. That's what I'm saying. Since we speaking on 147, that's where I was at. I remember where I was at. Let me go and segue. That's where I was at. Since we speaking on the 140 7-pound division, right? I'm speaking boots. I'm speaking boots, and I'm speaking man, god damn, I'm bad. He said, "What's Speedy Rashidi Ellis height and reach?" I ain't sure. I ain't sure. I don't know what off the top of my head right now. He just speedy fast, but still need a few more fights at PBC to really evaluate them skills. Nothing negative access, but Golden Boy likes to give their talent sacrificial lamb. Now, he not with Golden Boy right now. What I'm saying is, Speedy Rashidi Ellis and Jerome Booth Ennis, they both up there in age. They both at a point, where they got something to prove in their career. You know what I mean? Yes, a lot of people, are sold on Jerome Booth Ennis, but he ain't fought, the top best of the best guys. You know what I mean? His best wins, are guys that we expected him to beat. No shots at him, you know what I mean? Our guys that we expected him to beat. And they are, that they were older. They were older guys. Speedy Rashidi Ellis is more so a guy around his age. Speedy Rashidi Ellis is a guy that's more so around his age. You know what I mean? He got fast hands as well. Jerome Booth Ennis has the reach on, most people that he's in the ring with. You know what I mean? But Speedy Rashidi Ellis is a talented boxer, within himself. I don't think Speedy Rashidi Ellis is the guy that'll get in the ring and be overwhelmed, by Jerome Booth Ennis, or who, get hit once and then go into a shell, by Jerome Booth Ennis, because Jerome Booth Ennis is I compare that. I'm gonna do a Southern T on it. You know what I mean? I compare. I'm gonna do it later now, but I can go and tell y'all. I compared him to like Mike Tyson. He got that kind of like Mike Tyson esque aura. You know what I mean? Right now, in the sense that people are kind of fear. People can say what they want to, but I know what a scared fighter look like. And none of these fighters scared to fight each other. Okay, cool. None of these fighters scared to fight each other. But after they get in their ring and some of them get hit, they do become, fearful of what the hell is going on. I think Castile Clayton checked out. I think Castile Clayton could have physically took a lot more damage, but he decided I'm not taking no more damage. That was like Mike Tyson-esque. I hadn't seen a guy, like check out like that, a guy, quit, a guy be fearful of power like that since, like Mike Tyson. Jerome Booth Ennis is different, when it comes to that. A lot of that, was fear. A lot of the mystique of Mike Tyson was the fear of Mike Tyson. The aura of Mike Tyson. The folk tale of Mike Tyson type deal. I'm not saying Jerome Booth Ennis, is like Mike Tyson, because I think Jerome Booth Ennis is far more skilled, far more talented of a fighter than a Mike Tyson. But I mean, just the aura of him scares people. You know what I mean? Type deal. I don't think Speedy Rashidi Ellis is scared of the aura of Jerome Booth Ennis. Like, for example, in the fight with Sergey Lipinets, he wasn't afraid of the aura of Jerome Booth Ennis. Sergey Lipinets wasn't. He was just too small. He was just too small of a guy. You know what I mean? He wasn't scared of Jerron. He gave Jerron everything he had. He tried to box Jerron. He saw he couldn't box Jerron. And then, he tried to fight Jerron. And then, he went as long as he could. You know what I mean? Sergey Lipinets. But a guy like Speedy Rashidi Ellis, he's naturally a 147 pounder. Actually, he may be naturally bigger than that. You know what I mean? He's naturally bigger than he's naturally bigger than he's naturally, bigger than the Sergio Lipinets, so that means he's naturally a stronger fighter. He has quicker hands than Sergio Lipinets. He just will be a much tougher, task than Sergio Lipinets. And one thing that jumped out in that Lipinets fight with me, which is why I keep using Lipinets. Lipinets was able to, land on boots. And then I know, a few people were able, to land on boots, but Sergey was able to land cleanly on boots, and he hit him with some flush shit. Now, Sergey just didn't have enough. You know what I mean? He just didn't have enough power behind, what he was throwing to really affect, Jerome like that. But he was able to get through there. I think if Speedy Rashidi Ellis is able to land the way that Sergey Lipinets was able to land, I think, that could pose a problem for Jerome Boost Ennis. You know what I mean? He said, my bad. What's good, Foxy? Appreciate you sliding through this, John Foxy. Glad you can make it. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. I don't know if it's your first time, but don't make it your last time if you could. Smash that like button for your boy as you roll on in. I'm on this thing. I'm walking y'all down the pipe right now. I need y'all to, to stay with me. Because I'm getting somewhere. I ain't even got halfway through to where I'm going just yet. I swear I ain't. We go get there, though. Y'all do your boy a favor, smash that like button. But yeah, Jerome Boost Ennis. He's a Jerome Boost Ennis. I think if this fight, this would be the perfect fight. You know what I mean? To solidify, the 147-pound championship fight between Earl and Bud. You know what I mean? Type deal. This would be the perfect co-main event. And now we hit on, Conor Benn and Stanionis a little bit earlier. But I want to get all the way into, the Conor Benn and Stanionis situation. You know what I mean? I want to get all the way into it type deal. Now, a lot of questions could be answered on this. Now, what's good, AB? Appreciate you sliding through this, John. AB the IT. Glad you could make it. TWT in the building. A lot of questions could be answered, on this one night if this could be done the right way. You know what I mean? A lot of questions could be answered, the right way. And again, I'm not saying that these fights go happen. This is Southern T boxing over here, making these fights happen. You know what I mean? We could, if in the perfect world, this will be the undercard. We got people asking, is this fight gonna happen? And if it is gonna happen, what's gonna be the undercard here? What's gonna be the undercard there? Well, you know what? Southern T got you. I got you. Y'all pull up a seat. Because we finna talk about it. So, Conor Benn and Stanionis, 147-pound division is down there, and there's not enough moving and shaking going on. I feel like amongst the younger fighters, you know what I mean. It seems like everybody is afraid to fight Jerome Boost Ennis. You know what I mean, except Speedy Rashidi Ellis. So let's throw them in there. Now we got Conor Benn and Emmanuel Stanionis, and I chose these two specific fighters for a reason. Stanionis is the WBA, you know what I mean, mandatory for Earl Spence's belt. Stanionis took step aside money, to let the fight with Jordanis Ugas happen. Now again, Stanionis won't be against taking step aside money again for letting Undisputed happen, because Stanionis and his partners, are in business with Showtime and the PBC. You know what I mean? That's where their bread is butter. Just Do. What's good, pimp? Appreciate you sliding through this, John. Just Do. Glad you could make it. TWT in the building. Appreciate you sliding through this, John. Just, that's where Stanionis' bread is butter over there with the PBC and Showtime. So he wouldn't have a problem, stepping aside and letting Bud and Earl, take care of their business. Well, who would be the perfect opponent, you know what I mean, for Stanionis? How about the WBA regular champion? Y'all see where I'm going. Now, I know, these are, quote unquote fantasy fights, or fight that's not go happen next, but understand, my guy Ghost came here earlier saying that it's not gonna happen. Showtime denied and all that. I don't really know, about the Showtime denying or whatnot. Not sure at all, how true that is or not. That's my first time, hearing that. But let's just say that that's, not true type deal, because, they both over there, on PBC, you know what I mean, type deal. So let's just say that Stanionis. So let's just say that Boots and Jerron. Let's say that Jerron Boots, Ennis, and Speedy Rashidi Ellis. You know what I mean? Agree to fight. So we got Earl and Bud as the main event. We got Jerron Boots, Ennis, and Speedy Rashidi Ellis as the co-main event. Since we stand in the 147-pound division, now we got Stanionis being the mandatory for Earl Spence. But I already explained how he's over there on the PBC side, Showtime side with them, and they'll be able to work it out. He took step aside money once. If they pay him, they pay him enough money, he'll take step aside money again. Who don't like getting paid for taking easy fights? He step aside, take an easy fight. But except for this time, he's not going to take an easy fight. What he's going to do is he's going to fight Conor Benn, right? Who Eddie Hearn has been out here, trying to shop around, for the bigger, for the better fights, right? So he takes on this Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn is liable to fight on any network that he pleases. You know what I mean? Because Conor Benn is Eddie Hearn's, horse. He's one of Eddie Hearn's big horses right now. And Eddie Hearn has no problem with, letting his fighters fight big fights, especially if it's lucrative to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn got Conor Benn already out here, trying to negotiate Keith Thurman fights. So them fight on the PBC, wouldn't be a problem at all. Now, I'm under the understanding that Keith Thurman fight, is kind of difficult for them to make because of, Keith Thurman demands or whatever. They just what I'm hearing, through the rumor mill. Keith Thurman want to do things a certain way, and Keith Thurman is only going to do things, the Keith Thurman way. You know what I mean? Type deal. So if that, let's just say that fight with Keith Thurman and Conor Benn doesn't transpire, that fight will make perfect sense at 147, right? That would be an even better fight than maybe Stanionis. You know what I mean? As far as, namesake, Conor Benn and Keith Thurman, as far as namesake, that's one hell of a fight. You know what I mean? But right now, Keith Thurman has other plans. Keith Thurman, he's been rumored to fight Jerome Boots, Ennis, or whatnot, but, there's been a rumor, for a minute. He's also rumored to fight your Daniels Ugas, and he's also in strong rumors right now to fight Conor Benn. You know what I mean? Type deal. So shut up, Ricky. Shut the fuck up, Ricky. Shout out my guy Ricky Williams. You know you slide through the joint, Ricky Williams. TWT in the building. What's good? Hold on. Let me get your flames right. Let me get my flames right. Y'all do your boy favor. My bad, I hit the wrong one. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy. You know what I mean? So let's just say for a second that Conor Benn can't get the Keith Thurman fight, right? Boom. Stanionis is already the WBA, you know what I mean, mandatory, right? So he takes step aside again because he already on the PBC and Showtime side, right? Boom. Conor Benn is a WBA regular champion, WBA gold champion, whatever the fuck champion he is. He the WBA regular champion. So if Stanionis is the mandatory and Conor Benn is the regular champion, y'all, then that means it makes perfect sense for Stanionis and Conor Benn to what? Fight each other. In the world where things are just making sense, all I'm saying is, right, we got Bud versus Earl. We've been trying to get that fight for a little minute now. Don't nothing about that fight. Ain't nothing about that fight making sense right now. Speaking of making sense, but let me just stay a course for a second. Let me try to make this shit, make sense for a second. Let's say Earl and Bud, is the fight. That is the fight. We ain't got to say that. That is the fight, that everybody want. And I personally feel like it's gonna happen. There's people with their reservations, but I think even, the biggest doubts are starting to come along because the fighters themselves and more people are starting, drop little tidbits and shit like that. The biggest problem is this whole thing, that's going on with Bud Crawford. I ain't even go get into the specifics, but let's just say that, we waiting on Bud right now. But what I'm saying is, Bud is good. We waiting on, exactly to see, what's up with, with that situation that's going on with those 611,000 people. I ain't gonna get too far in there. But boom, that fight made. Perfect main event. Speedy Rashidi Ellis versus Jerome Boots Ennis. I already explained that one. You know what I mean? What's good, J.A. Dixon? Appreciate you sliding through this, John J.A. Glad you can make a pimp. Y'all do your boy a favor. Smash that like button when you roll on in. Yep, me too, Foxy. It's already made, Foxy. Earl and Bud already made. I'm trying to put a co-main event together right now. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Jerome Booth Ennis don't got a fight right now. Speedy Rashidi Ellis just had a fight. You know what I mean? If this fight gonna happen in October, if you want to let Speedy Rashidi Ellis fight somebody again next month, you know what I mean, to actually get him some rounds in. He came in, a little heavy. Now, whether it was agreed upon or not, he came in a little heavy. He only got one round because he knocked the guy out. So check that power still there. Let's get Speedy Rashidi Ellis in next month in the fight. Throw him in there. You can throw him in there with another replacement, so he won't take too much damage. Just throw him in there and hope he get more than one round out of it. You know what I mean? And then you can have him and Boots fight on the October card. You know what I mean? That answers a lot of questions at 147. It answers that nobody want to fight Jerome Boots Ennis question, right? If Jerome Boots Ennis, that knocks him down a little bit, counterpulse, Speedy Rashidi Ellis type deal. And maybe we get more people, wanting to fight Boots. With Boots, again, like I mentioned earlier, real quick, I think it's like a Mike Tyson-esque kind of fear thing. I think he's much more talented than Mike Tyson is, but like the fear of Boots right now, it's like the aura of him, the myth of Boots. Like a lot of people feel like nobody could beat Boots. Speedy Rashidi Ellis want to fight him, so let's make it happen. Another fight that just makes sense to me, you got the WBA regular champion Conor Benn and the number one for the WBA belt, Earl Spence's belt, Stanionis. Stanionis works on the PBC and Showtime side. You put them two in there, you know what I mean? Benn and Stanionis for the rightful WBA, contender. You know what I mean? A rightful WBA champion. You know what I mean? It just made perfect sense. It answered questions about Stanionis. It answered questions about Conor Benn. Is Conor Benn real? Conor Benn only want to fight old people. It checked that old people box for Stanionis. Stanionis just beat Boutier like I knew Stanionis would. He just beat Boutier, you know what I mean? So Stanionis, people are, I'm still on, Stanionis' neck, about, him being, not that good. But I know he was good enough to beat Boutier because I think Boutier is playing James. At least Stanionis does have that wild card, which is his power. You know what I mean? Boutier is more of a accumulation puncher. He does more accumulation damage than anything. You know what I mean? Does Boutier? I knew Stanionis would get him. I knew Stanionis will win that fight. Conor Benn is the guy who people who feels like the verdict is out on Conor Benn. You get a lot of mixed signals when it comes to Conor Benn type deal. People don't really care about Stanionis enough yet for us to really give a whole bunch of signals in general about him. You know what I mean? But Stanionis, I thought Stanionis was a WBA regular champ. Now, no, Stanionis is the number one. Stanionis is the number one contender for the WBA regular champ. Yeah, Stanionis is WBA regular champ, and Conor Benn is the WBA gold champ or Intercontinental champ or something like that. Conor Benn and Stanionis are the only two people in that division that still have belts outside of Earl Spence and outside of Stanionis and Benn are the only two people who have WBA belts at 147 pounds outside of Earl Spence. Yeah, he did. Conor Benn got the WBA Intercontinental belt. Conor Benn got the WBA Intercontinental belt. Those two are the only two people with WBA belts left. And WBA doing that consolation tournament consolidation tournament where they downsizing all their belts in the WBA. So at 147 pound division, you got Conor Benn ranked in the top 5. You got Stanionis ranked in the top 8. You know what I mean? They both got WBA belts. You make that fight for the rightful, WBA number one contender. You know what I mean? Type of you throw that on the same card. Nah, you didn't, J.A. Nah, you didn't, J.A. You throw, facts. He's mandatory. But Conor Benn still got one of those WBA belts, and Conor Benn is ranked higher than Stanionis. Yeah, now y'all see where I'm going. You see where I'm going? It's a lot of questions to be answered. Stanionis is the mandatory, but Conor Benn is ranked higher than Stanionis in the in the rankings. Conor Benn, got the Intercontinental belt type deal. You know what I mean? So it's questions, to be answered in there. Questions for Stanionis, questions for Conor Benn. They both really got to prove themselves to me. Stanionis ain't ready for an Earl Spence fight. If Stanionis fight Earl Spence right now, he gonna be food for Earl Spence. A guy like Stanionis is tailor-made for Earl Spence. He gonna be standing right there in front of Earl Spence, and he gonna be getting punched on. Spence wake up and he dream for fighters like Emmanuel Stanionis. He not ready for Stanionis yet, but you know what? If he could fight a puncher like Conor Benn, if he could fight a puncher like Conor Benn, a relentless puncher like Conor Benn, a guy who really don't, get tired, a guy who could chase you around the ring, you know what I mean? If you could go in there and you could beat a puncher brawler like Conor Benn, Spence is just a technical puncher brawler. When you get down to it, he's more technical than Conor Benn. You know what I mean? More fundamentally sound than Conor Benn. Been doing it longer than Conor Benn, right? But Benn is a brawler puncher, and Early is a technical puncher brawler. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, you throw him in there. Benn is ranked higher than Stanionis. Stanionis is the mentor, but Benn is ranked higher in him in the WBA. It answered that question. Conor Benn ain't fought nobody. Stanionis ain't fought nobody. He fought Butiev, but I feel like more so, I feel like right now what we doing is we boosting up, Stanionis when we didn't grade Butiev or Stanionis that high. I damn sure didn't grade Butiev that high because I had Stanionis beat him from the rip. You know what I mean? I had him beat him from the rip. He says Stanionis might beat Ben Foxy. It would be the perfect fight. Imagine what would be a better 3-fight, what would be a better 2-fight undercard for Bud versus Earl than Boots versus Speedy Rashidi Ellis and Stanionis versus Conor Benn. That would literally work out the 147-pound division in one night. If Jerome Boots Ennis is able to be, victorious, if he's able to be victorious over Speedy Rashidi Ellis in nice fashion, you know what I mean? He said, won't be in the fight. Virgil, similar style clash would be a banger. Yep, but Virgil is in the WBO route. You know what I mean? I'm strictly talking about, stuff that could happen. This is strictly, a Showtime PBC card that I'm doing right now. Benn would be the only, odd guy out coming over from the zone. But because Eddie Hearn, does ship his fighters around, because Eddie Hearn is in talks, with the PBC right now, trying to get a Keith Thurman deal done. You know what I mean? They're over there, trying to work that out. So because of his willingness to do that, I was just using him because I feel like, that's a fight that really could happen. Ortiz, on the other hand, I haven't heard him mention, fighting a guy over there from the PBC side or nothing like that. I just was kind of trying to do stuff, that was already, on the table, or stuff that kind of lined itself up. I chose Speedy Rashidi Ellis and Boots because, Boots is seen as the boogeyman at 147. It seems like nobody really wants to fight Jerome Boots Ennis right now. So we got a guy, who fought last weekend, who came in and got a first-round knockout, over a guy. He said he feel like Boots want to win the round with him. He's a young guy in his prime. His hands are just as fast as Jerome Boots Ennis, I think. You know what I mean? I don't think there will be too big of a speed advantage either way in that fight. Now, we could say that Jerome Boots Ennis is more powerful than Speedy Rashidi Ellis, but again, Speedy Rashidi Ellis, doesn't lack power in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? I think that would be the perfect fight to co-main Earl Spence and Bud. Earl Spence and Bud is going to answer who is the top dog, you know what I mean, right now at 147. Speedy Rashidi Ellis is going to answer if Boots is the next big dog at 147 or not, because Speedy Rashidi Ellis ain't going to come in there and just give it to him. You know what I mean? Again, Speedy Rashidi Ellis is an athletic, highly talented guy as well. I think that would be the perfect matchup for Boots. I think, Boots a little taller, a little longer arm reach, but still, sometimes they can work to your disadvantage when a fighter really know what he's doing. You know what I mean? As Speedy Rashidi Ellis does. That would be the perfect co-main. And what better fight to put in front of that one than Conor Benn versus Stanionis? That fight is going to be, fireworks. You got two guys who coming in there, boxer puncher. Some people feel like Stanionis will win. I feel like Conor Benn will win. I don't feel like Stanionis has a good enough jab to be able to beat Conor Benn. I think Conor Benn eventually probably going to spark, Stanionis out. Butiev, I never looked at it as him having, a whole lot of power. He don't got a whole lot of power. He stopped Jamal James on TKO, and he didn't knock him out or down. His face swelled up. You know what I mean? I always had Stanionis to beat him. Butiev, I thought was, bland, plain James. Marvin Davis said that undercard will be lit. Right, Marvin? Facts. Marvin Davis, can you do your boy a favor? I don't know if this your first time, but if you could, not make it your last time. If you could, like the video and subscribe to the channel for your boy. We'll greatly appreciate it. I don't know if you're here for a good time or a long time, but if you could, like the video and subscribe to the channel, greatly appreciate it. You know what I mean? And it makes sense. Not only would it be a lit undercard, Marvin, I think it makes sense. This would solve pretty much almost all the problems at 147. This will put Boots in his right spot after we decide who belongs, who's the best, Earl or Bud. This will put Boots in the spot where he belongs with his best win over Speedy Rashida Ellis. And this will answer us these questions. Is Conor Benn real? Can he be the guy in his prime? And if Stanionis is able to knock out Conor Benn, there will be, a nice fight, a nice build-up for him going into a Earl Spence fight. You know what I mean? Type deal. I think Conor Benn or Stanionis, either one of them winning their fight will be a nice, build up, with them being the mandatory. With Stanionis being the mandatory, having the regular belt, and Conor Benn having the continental belt, that will be the perfect build up, into their fight going into either Earl Spence or, getting that vacant WBA belt, seeing if Earl Spence, vacates the belt after the Terrence Crawford fight. You'll have Jerome Boots Ennis stepping up to that WBO spot or that WBC belt. So let's just say that Jerome Boots Ennis, gets the WBC belt. You know what I mean? Then you'll have, in a domino effect, you'll have Conor Benn or Stanionis taking the WBA belt. You know what I mean? Or let's say that after Earl vacate, Jerome Boots Ennis gets the WBO belt, which more likely he'll get the WBA belt since he's over there on Showtime and the PBC side. Don't ask me why, they just had it go. Skywalker said, yeah, that would be the best route. See, I just think, I'm just over here thinking, to myself, it'll give us an extremely interesting card to watch, from start to finish almost, you know what I mean? I just think it make more sense than not. You know what I mean? It answers a lot of questions for everybody. It'll be the perfect build up. Then everybody let the belts go. You get Boots. With the WB. You get Boots with the WBC. Conor Benn with the WBA. Stanionis with the WB O or the IBF. Something like that. And then you just never know. You know what I mean? Just open up a whole shitload of things. But I think the perfect card for this fight, I think, is sitting in front of us right now. Skywalker said, shout out Mike B. Appreciate you sliding through this back. He said, I like and I'm already subscribed. Shout out my guy Marvin Davis. Appreciate you. He said, Matchroom and Golden Boy won't want to lose their top welterweight. I was just fantasizing because their styles are similar. Yeah, facts. Virgil Ortiz was supposed to fight Earl and Boots, actually, but his camp decided, to go a different route. Now, I'm not blaming Virgil Ortiz for that because his camp decided that, that he wasn't ready, right then and there type deal. But I think Virgil Ortiz is the best ranked. I think he's the highest ranked welterweight, of the prospects after Jerome Boots Ennis. I think it's Boots Ennis, Virgil, and Conor Benn. But I think the longer that, those guys wait to fight Conor Benn, I think advantage goes to Conor Benn because Conor Benn, got into boxing. He was the last one to get into boxing out of the, out of the prospects that we talking about. Boots, Stanionis, Virgil, and those guys. Conor Benn got in the ladies, even though he's the one with the boxing dad, ironically, you know what I mean? But he's the one that got in the latest type deal. So I think the more fights that Conor Benn is starting to have, the more polish that he's getting, the more we see him growing into the 147-pound division. I think Conor Benn gonna be a problem. If you go get Conor Benn, I think the best time is to fight him now. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If you go and get him, I think the best time is to get him now before he really fit out into that division. Because if you look at Conor Benn's dimensions, he's not that big of a guy. He's starting to sit and settle into his power. He's starting to put guys out. You know what I mean? But he's just starting to get into the point where he's settling into that power. You know what I mean? So I think the best time to get him would be, today. Because I think, maybe 2-3 years, Those go there to be prime Connor Bean. There to be the best of Connor Bean. He said Ellis would love Connor Bean today. He said, I hope the fight takes place in Texas. Now that talking about Earl and Bud. Now Earl and Bud ain't happening in Texas. You can count some Christmas on that one. Now, now Earl and Bud ain't happening in Texas. We can count some Christmas on that one, man. Now that ain't gonna happen at all. Now that ain't gonna happen at all. I mean, Vegas makes sense. Vegas makes sense for it. That's what I'm hearing. Vegas more than likely. MGM Graham, the Raiders Stadium. You know what I mean? MGM Graham, more than likely. I'm not sure if they trust them to do the Raiders Stadium. I think it will make sense, to do a bigger stadium, just to see how many people that you can get to come in general. You know what I mean? But that's probably a Vegas fight more than likely. It make a lot of sense to do it in Texas. Earl still out in Texas type deal, but Bud not trying to have that fight in Texas, which I understand, man. I understand that. I'm not even, I understand. I understand the logic of that type deal. I also understand that, some people go to people countries and, backyards and they take what's theirs, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to necessarily knock them for, not wanting to do that in this particular case. Even though he did it to Ricky Burns, you know what I mean, type deal. He's an Ellis wants Benn, Boots, Virgil, Ortiz Jr. today. Yeah, that's what Speedy Rashidi Ellis said. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like the fight just makes sense, man. Put it on the undercard. Put it on the undercard of Earl and Bud. Speedy Rashidi Ellis versus Boots. Make that the co-main event. Put Connor Benn versus Stanionis as the opener to the main card. Make perfect sense. We'll get there early. We'll get there early to see Connor Benn fight Stanionis. Because we know somebody going to bed. Somebody going to sleep in that fight. I don't see both of them coming out awoke in that fight. You know what I mean? Especially not with the way Connor Benn fight. Connor Benn either go knock you out or he go get knocked out. You know what I mean? He either go knock you out or he go get knocked out. Now, especially right now, and I'm talking right now. He said, what about Boots and Boutier? Now, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Boots and Boutier. Boutier go kill him, Foxy Brown. He said, Vegas makes sense too. I just need them dates to start booking. October 29th, man. Take it to the bank. Marvin Davis, October 29th, man. Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank, man. Believe me when I say take it to the bank. Don't start saving your money now. Trust me. If ain't nobody else told you right, Southern T telling you today, go on get ahead of the game. At least go on get ahead of the game. Go on get ahead of the game, my brother. Book it, my brother. You can book it. Devin Blocker, what's good? Appreciate you sliding through this, John Devin. Glad you can make it. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether y'all here for a good time or a long time, if y'all could, smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Win this thing, talking about the ultimate undercard for Spence versus Jerome Boots Ennis. I was simply just thinking to myself, I actually think Speedy Rashidi Ellis, even though Speedy Rashidi Ellis, came in kind of heavy, you know what I mean? He put the guy out in one round. They let me know that power was still there. Shout out to my guy, Devin Blocker. Ghost said Ellis is too high risk for these guys. They know they can lose to Speedy. Showtime, Golden Boy, Eddie Hearn would not risk their guys stepping in with Ellis. Foxy said, why? Why what, Foxy? He said, they do not know how good Ellis is. They know Ellis looks like the goods. They hear what everyone hears behind the scenes. They know Ellis that nigga. No one taking that. Speedy Rashidi Ellis is the Andrade of 147, the real boogeyman. Darrell Adams, what's good, my UK brother? Appreciate you sliding through this, John Darrell. Glad you can make it. Shout out my guy Darrell, my UK brother. What's good, pimp? Win this thing, breaking down the ultimate undercard, for Earl and Bud. I think what better way to bring it in. You know what I'm saying? What better way to celebrate that night than we could just answer a whole bunch of questions at the 147-pound division. Stanionis is the regular champion. Is the WBA regular champion at 147. Conor Benn is the Intercontinental champion at 147. WBA Intercontinental champion. Stanionis and Conor Benn are the only two fighters who still hold belts outside of Errol Spence at the 147-pound division. Stanionis is the mandatory for Errol Spence. He's on the Showtime PBC side. That's who he do business with. He took step aside money to get the Errol Spence and Yordanis Ugas fight. So he's not against, he's inclined to working with, the PBC and Showtime to make things happen. So I don't see why he wouldn't take step aside money to let him fight Bud for Undisputed. And in the meantime, why not go ahead and take care of the only two, belts left in the WBA? The WBA doing that consolidation tournament. So they just fall in line with the consolidation tournament, the Stanionis and Conor Benn. Conor Benn is ranked higher than Stanionis, although Stanionis is the mandatory. That don't make sense. So boom, you throw them on the pre-fight, you let them fight, you did Speedy Rashida Ellis and Boost fight on the co-main, and we got us a fire card. People gonna be there on time for that. He said, I beat her super early with a late undercard facts. And that ain't even, and I ain't even mentioned, throwing Frank Martin on there. Throw Frank Martin and Rolly on there too. You could throw Frank Martin and Rolly on there, type deal. And you just can keep going, from there. Richard Hitchison and goddamn Michelle Rivera. You know what I mean? Michelle Rivera, Richard Hitchison can be on there, type deal. Frank Martin versus Rolly, Michelle Rivera, Richard Hitchison. You know what I mean? You can do your damn thing with it, PBC. Shout out my guy Cal in the boxing section. Appreciate you sliding through this there. Boutiel, you think beats Boots? Isn't that what you said? No. Boots beats Boutiel. He beat the shit out of Boutiel. Boutiel not on Boots level. Boutiel basic. I knew he didn't stand a chance against Stanionis. I knew Stanionis was going to beat him. Anybody with eyes could have saw that. Shout out my guy, the boxing section, Cal. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Cal. Glad you can make it. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. We in this thing talking about, the ultimate undercard for 147, trying to get this 147-pound division, figured out. You know what I mean? We was doing like a little 10-fighter tournament that I want to get back into whenever Crush, them all us get together. We got to finish that. You know what I mean? That breakdown. I like where they thing was going. Derek Adams said, always a good listen. My guy, Southern T, breaks down content every day. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Yeah, in fact, man, I've been kind of down. My back, I pinched a nerve in my back, so it's been kind of hard for me to do these live streams. Today, what I did was I just did this jump from my bed. I'm laying down there in my bed. I ain't even sitting there. I'm like, fuck this shit. I ain't gonna bring my camera up though. I'm just gonna give y'all this stream. My back hurting, but I'm gonna make it do what it do. I had to give y'all a formal stream. I think y'all forgot that I talk this boxing shit. That I know how to talk this boxing shit. So I had to make sure that I reminded y'all today and give y'all a formal stream. I ain't gonna be here too long. I'm probably gonna be here about until BF come on. About another hour and a half. I just wanted to get y'all that good cook because I ain't came to talk to y'all about this good boxing. Let y'all in my mind, let y'all in my head for a minute. He said Ellis versus Michael Fox is a good ass fight too. In fact, you can throw Michael Fox on there as well. So how many fights we come up with? You know what I mean? Alex Santos. Appreciate you sliding through this, John. Alex Santos. Alex Santos, can you do your boy a favor? I don't know if this is your first time, but don't make it your last time. If you could, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for your boy. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. We're in here talking a little 147. I'm in here trying to, make some shit, make sense a little bit. You know what I mean? But on some real shit though, whether it happen next or whatnot, I need Speedy Rashida Ellis and Jerome Boost Ennis to happen ASAP. You know what I mean? And I ain't saying that Jerome Boost Ennis necessarily got to say nothing back. You know what I mean? But I would like to know, what he think about what Speedy Rashida Ellis had to say, and if there is a fight possible for them to make happen. He said Michael Fox is too disrespected. He's one of the top 10 in 147. He has a shot against any of those dudes. I do think he got a shot against any of those dudes, given his dimensions for sure. He said rumor is Conor Benn will fight Eubank Jr. I hope that's true. That's a good fight. that's better than Mo Hooker than what I was hearing. It's not better than Keith Thurman, but it is better than Chris Eubank. I hope so, Alex. I hope you're right about that one. I'd love to see that fight. I was just thinking about adding Frank Martin and Rolly. Yeah, add Frank Martin and Rolly to it. Add Frank Martin and Rolly to it. And who else I added to it? I added Frank and Rolly. I added Richard Hitchison and Michelle Rivera. We could add Michael Fox and Michael Fox and somebody to it. He said, "Yo, y'all keep it out on July 15. Call my brother Stephen Shaw's fight. That's the future heavyweight champ. Promise y'all that." He just Stephen Big Shaw that dude or nobody but Tay, BF, and the rest of the family give him his due respect. 15 gonna be a statement for all eyes to see. Shout out Stephen Big Shaw. I just realized that Stephen Big Shaw followed me on Instagram. I just followed him back. Shout out Stephen Big Shaw. He said it would be a good step up for Boots or Avanesian. Yeah, we could throw Avanesian in the mix as well. I wouldn't be too surprised. If Conor Benn or Avanesian finally decide to, throw down. He said Conor Benn definitely not fighting Eubank. Eubank versus Smith. Benn versus Thurman. That's the talks 100%. There you go, Derek. That's what I'm hearing. Now that's more so what I'm hearing. That's what I'm leaning towards, Derek. You know what I mean? But either of those fights, work for me, man. I just want to see my boy Ben, keep progressing and getting those fights and earning the respect of the people. You know what I mean? Alex Santos said, I'm already subscriber. Appreciate you, Alex. He said, don't think Eubank can get down that much. Conor Benn was going to come up. From what I understand, Conor Benn was coming up from what I was getting from it. He said Frank Martin versus Chris Colbert. Up there work. And you can throw Riley versus Rivera. Yep, Frank Martin versus Chris Colbert. You can put that on there. He said, but now that Speed Rashid Ellis is with PBC, he'll get more fights and better now. And there you go, Judah. I slick want them to go him since he didn't have too much work in his last fight, since he made easy work of him. I slick want them to go ahead and throw him on another fight card like next month or some shit. Put him on the up-and-coming fight. Let him fight, either the guy that he was about to fight this time that had to pull out, or let him fight, like another little journeyman replacement fighter. Let him shake loose. At least let him try to get more than one round. You know what I mean? And then put his ass in there with boots on this motherfucking undercard. But that'd be too much right? He said he know about your T. Remember, you one of the early guys to speak on this. You were talking about him when he was ice. Yeah, I know. Shout out Stefan. Shout out Stephen Shaw. He's an or is Rashidi with PBC. Yeah, he with PBC. PBC and Showtime, all them basically do well. PBC and Showtime do business together. Fox and Showtime don't do business together, but PBC do business with Fox and Showtime. You know what I mean? So you can see where the rift will come in there. But PBC and Showtime do business together. So yes, he is with PBC, but he be fighting on Showtime, or he could fight on Fox depending on where they go put him at that particular week. You know what I mean? But yeah, he with PBC, but they kind of work together. He said, when is Ellis fighting? I've been waiting for that. Ellis just fought, Alex. He just fought this upcoming weekend. He had he was gonna fight Ricardo Nunes, but Ricardo Nunes, I guess he got injured or something. He had to pull out for whatever reason. I don't know what it was, but he had to pull out. So he ended up fighting the replacement, and he knocked the replacement out in one round. I'm mad he knocked the replacement out in one round because he been out for a year and a half going through that legal shit. He ain't even get a chance to shake no rust out. He was talking all that shit about Boots. He got me excited. I want to see him fight Boots. He ain't gonna be able to fight Boots taking a year and a half. Well, I ain't gonna say taking. He had to take a year and a half layoff, and then he coming back and knocking niggas out in the first round. Ricardo Nunes was supposed to be there, so he can at least get a little bit of work. I'm pretty sure Ricardo Nunes would have got out the first round at least. You know what I mean? But yeah, he just came back this Saturday. He knocked him out in the first round. He said Rashidi is really on smoke. Yo, we even see a spawn opportunity. All he wanted is a shot. That's all. He doesn't get paid extra for these names. It's not a clout chase like some are saying. Yeah, I never say he was clout chase. I won't say Speedy was a clout chase. If it was anybody other than him, I probably would though. He said, Judah Bean, Israel, salute, brother. Yeah, what's good, Judah? Shout out Judah. He's an Irish shit. He wanted a shot. He already asked. He go get his shot over there with PBC goes. He said he already asked for another fight ASAP. Anyone welcome to take the offer. Next one, we want more rounds. Rashidi can fight on Showtime or Fox. Yeah. Oh hell yeah! So Rashidi is good then, cause he was with Golden. Yeah, he ain't with Golden Boy no more. That's why he was on the bench. That's why he was on ice because it was Golden Boy. He was with Golden Boy. Golden Boy was really trying to get him beat. If y'all want to shit, if y'all we can get into it for a second. I ain't got shit but time, man. I ain't got shit but time. I gotta throw this thing on the charger real quick. I ain't got shit but time though. But yeah, I feel like Golden Boy was trying to get him beat. Tell you the truth, I feel like they iced him for so long for a reason, and then they threw him in there with one of the better prospects they had on Golden Boy. Now, whether you feel like Alex Rocha had a chance against him or not, which Alex Rocha really did have a chance against Speedy, right? Some sort of chance. You know what I mean? It wasn't just a wash fight. If I'm mistaken, Speedy won a split, didn't it? Or something like that. You know what I mean? I think they was trying to get him beat with Alex Rocha. They sit him down, for a year and a half, and they set him down for a year and some change, and then they threw his ass in there with Alex Rocha, who is a good fight. Now, he ended up beating Alex Rocha, but he had to, push it to the brink to beat Alex Rocha. I think they was trying to get him beat. And then after that, they iced him on his last fight. And then he just ended up getting out of his last fight and getting over there to the PBC. You know what I mean? So I feel like they didn't waste it enough. I feel like he didn't had enough of his prime years taken away from him. I want Speedy Rashid to jump right in that water. And at this point, he's still young enough to where if he take a loss, he'll be able to bounce back and still win the title. You know what I mean? A couple years from now. He said PBC is trying to make Boots big on Showtime and Stanionis, so they will move them different. And I'm trying to move them right into, you know what I mean, these good fights that we want to see that the people deserve. They all on the same. Well, Conor Benn not on their side, but Eddie Hearn. I said Eddie Hearn. Yeah, Eddie Hearn ain't against working with nobody. Eddie Hearn said he felt like the people trying to freeze him out. So I think by Eddie Hearn coming out and saying that they feel like America trying to freeze him out, I think America gonna try to show him that now we ain't scared that you can get these fights. So I think we gonna start getting some of these, UK, American fights coming up in the recent time. 2022 has set the stage for us to get, these fights that we want. You know what I mean? And I ain't saying we gonna get Boots and Speedy Rashid Ellis. What I'm saying is, it will make sense. And I think that will be the most competitive fight for Boots outside of Earl and Bud, because we know he's not getting Earl and Bud right now, right? So if he can't get Earl and Bud right now, I just want to see him fight a competitive fight, not a guy who gonna come in and lay down, not a guy who gonna come in and be scared of him, not a guy who coming in for a check, not even nobody would have to question for doing any of that shit. You know what I mean? And I think Speedy Rashidi Ellis is the guy. Probably because Speedy Rashidi Ellis said himself that he is the guy. You know what I mean? He said that Jerome Boots Ennis wouldn't win the round. So partly I want to see Speedy Rashidi Ellis have to stand on what he said as well. You know what I mean? I just want to see, a good fight. It makes sense to me. He said Speedy is so fast and only took one round. Right. You know what I mean? He said, no way. How did I miss that? Because it happened so fast. It happened so fast, Alex. Even if you saw it, you would have missed it. He knocked him out in one round. It was last week. It was literally Saturday. It wasn't even a week ago. It was last week. He knocked him out so fast, you missed it. Even if you would have saw it, you would have missed it, because I saw it and I damn near missed it. I blinked too hard and Speedy Rashidi had him out of there. He said he would have gone more than a round, but since it was last minute, he thought it would look bad on him. That's why he went one. Next one, he going 5 or 6-ish. He said Golden Boy offered him like $25K for Virgil Ortiz with all types of additional clauses. Nigga was trying to do him nasty back at Golden Boy. He said Roger was a UD. Yep. Close fight. Yep. 16-14. Yep. UD. Yep. He said they didn't want Ellis to win. I don't think they really did. I don't think they wanted him to win that fight against Roach. They held him out for a minute, and they put him in there with one of their better fighters. You know what I mean? And it was a nice little scrap. He said Roach a good boxer, only lost to Speedy Rashidi Ellis. Yeah, fast Skywalker. I think so, at least. And, he's still, in his mid-20s, you know what I mean, type deal. He said Rashidi need to fight Boutier and Boost fight Stanionis. The zone got Benn in protective custody. Now Benn is in negotiations with Keith Thurman right now, and Mo Hooker is the backup plan. being in negotiations with Keith Thurman right now, so they already talking, to the PBC and shit right now with this Keith Thurman thing. That's why they so quiet. That's why I use them because they already didn't show the willingness, to do business with 147 pounder, over there on the Showtime PBC side. Stanionis right over there with them. You know what I mean? So, make it happen. And also, Stanionis is the WBA regular champion, and Conor Benn is a WBA continental intercontinental champion. They're the only two people not named Earl Spence that got a belt. And also, Conor Benn is ranked higher than Stanionis in WBA rankings, but Stanionis is a mandatory to Earl Spence. That don't make no sense at all. You know what I mean? So Conor Benn fighting Stanionis, it just makes sense. Now, I ain't saying that these fights are going to happen, but what I'm saying is these fights would make a whole lot of sense from many different angles if you really, you know what I mean, if we really get down to it. Shout out my guy, Derrick Jones Jr. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Derrick Jones. Glad you can make it, pimp. Y'all do your boy a favor as you roll on in. Y'all smash that like button for your boy as you roll on in. I got 37 likes, 13 people in the building. I need everybody in here that ain't smashed the like button to smash the like button. If you subscribe to the channel, if you ain't subscribed to the channel, do your boy a favor and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Go said, hold on, wait. Remember how they did him, Eddie? Oh, yeah, hold on, wait. I said, remember how they did him with Eddie Gomez, too? He was supposed to lose that. They put in the super late notice, and he put dude sleeping around. He said they even tried to play with Ellis when Eddie Gomez fight short notice after 1 year layoff when Eddie was a three solid top 15 win streak. Got washed like dirty clothes, though, 100-90. He said they won't put them in against each other yet. Maybe Ellis. He said, I was doing the live show and I was able to replay the Speedy Rashidi fight on the StreamYard. It was that fast. Facts, bro. He was that fast, Skywalker. Like, he made quick work of that man. It was that fast. He said he was not a top guy, easy touch. He was not a top guy, easy touch for Ellis. Who you talking about, Foxy? Who you talking about, Foxy? He said she offered Ted Ellis Boutier. Boutier go retire after what Ellis do. I don't want to see Boutier fight. I don't think Boutier is as good. Stanionis is the guy. Stanionis, Boots, Speedy, Conor Benn, Virgil. Man, let Boutier fight Brian Norman Jr. Let Boutier fight Brian Norman Jr. And that's gonna show y'all how good Boutier really is. Let him fight Brian Norman Jr. Boutier versus Brian Norman Jr. 22 people in the building. Can I get y'all to do your boy a favor? Can y'all smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you ain't? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I don't know if this is your first time, but don't make it your last time if you could. Just smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Again, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Greatly appreciate if y'all could smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Greatly appreciate it. He said Mean Machine will be a good step up for Boots. I think he killed Mean Machine too, Foxy. I think I might be high on Boots, huh? I don't think none of these people could hold Boots gym bag. I don't think these people could wash Boots. A lot of people I don't think stand a chance versus Jerome Boots Ennis. That's how highly I think of Speedy Rashidi Ellis, because I really do think he stand a chance. I really do want to see Boots fight Speedy Rashidi Ellis. I think Boots washed Mean Machine. He washed Boutier. You know what I mean? I low-key think he'll wash Stanionis and Conor Benn. You know what I mean? But we got to see it because he got to do it because it got to happen. We can't just say he washed everybody. He really got to do it. You know what I mean? I don't think he washed Speedy Rashidi Ellis, though. You know what I mean? I don't think he watched Speedy Rashidi. I think that fight get a little interesting. Do I favor Boots? Yeah. Do I favor Boots by a whole lot? No. Do I favor him by as much as I favor him in these other fights? Fuck no. You know what I mean? I think that junk get a little interesting is all I'm saying. I think it get a little interesting. He said, God damn it, my bad. I just hit the like button. It's all good, D-man. It's all good, D-man. Y'all do your boy a favor. Yeah, y'all smash that like button for your boy. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, let YouTube know you here. Let them know I'm doing a good job. Let them know that you're enjoying yourself. Smash that like button for your boy. You know what I mean? It's free. Glad y'all folks could make it. We're here talking about the great old 147-pound division. Is this a Bud and Earl conversation? Kind of, sort of. Not really. kinda, but not really. We putting together the undercard, you know what I mean? It actually makes sense. But I noticed in boxing when stuff make too much sense, it probably is not going to happen, which is the crazy part. When stuff make too much sense in boxing, that means it's probably not going to happen. This is just another one of those things that I think make too much sense. He said, I want to see Speedy Rashidi Ellis versus Benn and Boots versus Thurman. All those are good fights too. You know what I mean? 147, basically 147, they got to start doing something. Everybody's sitting there waiting on Earl and Bud, waiting on the guys at the top. Even Keith Thurman kind of waiting on Earl and Bud. You know what I mean? Even though he at the top. Boots is at the top. He want Earl and Bud. You know what I mean? Connor Bean want old me Earl and Bud. You know what I mean? I like Connor Bean, but it's time for him to fight, somebody that I want to see him fight. That's why I want to put him in the ring, you know what I mean, with Stanionis. You know what I mean? But I want to see Speedy Rashidi Ellis versus Benn because Speedy Rashidi Ellis actually want to fight Boots. You know what I mean, Judah? Keith Thurman is up in the air on whether he want to fight Boots or Benn, or he want to go for a belt or fight Ugas. There's a lot of people who rumored to fight Keith Thurman right now. We don't know who Keith Thurman want to fight right now. You know what I mean? But I know that Speedy Rashidi Ellis has said that he want to fight, you know what I mean, Boots. And if you get a guy who want to fight Boots, then I say you let him fight him. Because unless you really want to get in there with a guy like Boots, you're not going to beat Boots. I think that's the problem with a lot of people. They get in there with Boots, you know what I mean? And they be scared shitless before they punches even thrown. I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again real quick. Boots, Ennis kind of got this Mike Tyson aura thing going. And again, I think Boots is more skilled than Mike Tyson. But I mean, the aura of a thing is like people and the fans, it's like people fear Boots. When people, think of Boots, it's like they defeat themselves before they even, get in the ring. I just seen a grown man fake like he was hurt because Boots popped his ass one too hard and he didn't want to feel one time too hard and he didn't want to feel no more of that power. You know what I mean? With Speedy Rashidi Ellis, I don't believe is going to come in on that. You know what I mean? Speedy Rashidi Ellis has said, or he just said recently, I want that Boots fight. I'll fight Boots, and I don't think Boots will win the round. I also want Speedy Rashidi Ellis to have to stand on the stuff that he be saying. So that he said about Boots. So it's a lot of reasons, why I want this, fight to go down. Go said, give Ellis Jamal James, Boutier, or David Evanesian, them 5 or 6 round fights max. How about the Canadian guy, Cody Crowley, the white dude who's highly ranked, 21-0? Give Ellis him. He top 8 in most ranking bodies too, I think. Yep, that don't work. That'll be a good one, Cody Crowley. Cody Crowley up there, you know what I mean, in that conversation. He said who he just KO'd, the guy Ellis just beat. I don't know. It was a replacement fight. He was supposed to fight Ricardo Nunes, but Ricardo Nunes had to pull out the fight. You know what I mean? So he ended up fighting a replacement fight. But he was supposed to fight Ricardo Nunes, but he ended up knocking out a replacement guy. He said, or let Boutier fight Stanionis. Now, Boutier just fought Stanionis. Stanionis already beat Boutier. That's what I'm saying. Why y'all keep saying, y'all really like Boutier, don't it? Boutier is trash. That man is basic. Boutier is basic, man. Boutier is basic. He's the weakest link. Boutier is not these guys. He's not who we speak of. He said Boots get to step up though. Yeah, in fact, Boots and Speedy Rashidi Ellis, I think that's a step up for both guys. That'll be both guys' hardest opponents that they face. You know what I mean? To date, both in their prime. Prime for Speedy Rashidi Ellis. Guys like me can't say, well, Boots only fight old guys. Because people say Connor Bean only fight old guys. Well, Boots really only fight old guys too. Because Still Clayton was his first, guy, his prime, his first young guy. And he folded. Now, there ain't no fault to Boots, but the nigga still folded. You know what I mean? Now, if he get in there and he makes Speedy Rashidi Ellis fold, then we give him all the credit in the world. At least I am anyway. He said, bro, Boots need to relax with those back of the head shots. I watched his fights on repeat recently, and it's just too common for that to be a mistake. I said the same thing. Durr Adams said, big respect to my U.S. friends in the chat. Shout out to my guy, Durr Adams. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Durr. Opulent LD. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Pimp. Glad you could make it, Opulent. Shout out to my guy, Opulent LD. He said, I already smashed that hoe. Glad my guy came through and smashed the like button for your boy. Great lyric, appreciate it. He said Boots Evans, they already fought. He said Boots not a better athlete than Ellis. Oh, he said Boots not a better athlete than Ellis. How y'all feel about that? Who's a better athlete? Jerome Boots Ennis or Speedy Rashid Ellis? You know what I mean? He said Boots versus Ellis is a 50-50 fight to me. Ellis at his best has the tools to beat Boots. Boots at his best has the tools to beat Ellis. Yep, that I agree with. He said those fights won't happen until Bud and Spence move up for the chance for the new king of 47. That's what I'm saying, Ronald Haskins. The way that I set it up, Ronald, it all could happen the same night, and it'll all make sense. It all could happen the same night, and it'll all make sense. Conor Benn and Stanionis are both ranked in the WBA. They both are WBA champions. They are the only champions with belts beside Earl Spence at the 147-pound divisions. The WBA doing that consolidation tournament anywhere where they got to get rid of all the other belts. Those two are the only two that have belts. Boots and Stanionis could be the opening fight for Earl Spence versus Bud Crawford. You put Speedy Rashidi Ellis versus Boots up there. You know what I mean? Boots is ranked high in multiple of those divisions. You know what I mean? Type deal. Nobody really want to fight Boots right now. Speedy Rashidi Ellis said he will fight Boots right now. Speedy Rashidi Ellis also said Boots won win around against him. So you put Speedy Rashidi Ellis in there, let him stand on his word. You give Boots a fight against somebody, where people feel like he may lose. That'll be Boots' best opponent, to this day. You put him in there with that guy, you know what I mean? That'll answer all them questions that people like me got to say about Boots. Only fighting old guys. Boots not fighting nobody in their prime or nothing like that. Speedy Rashidi Ellis' game. I saw what Speedy Rashidi Ellis just did in his last fight. You know what I mean? 1-round knockout. You know what I mean? I feel like speed for speed. Speedy Rashidi Ellis and Benn can go. Speedy Rashidi Ellis and Boots can go speed for speed. You say that Jerome Boots Ennis is stronger. Okay, I give you that. But Speedy Rashidi Ellis' power is still ridiculous. Jerome Boots Ennis ain't going to be able to fight him the way that he fought Lipinets. You know what I mean? I seen Jerome Boots Ennis take a few flush shots from Lipinets and a couple other people. He not going to be able to take those flush shots. You know what I mean? From Speedy Rashidi Ellis like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, my bad. He ain't gonna be able to take those flush shots from Speedy Rashidi Ellis. You know the way he took those flush shots from Stanionis. You know what I mean? And Castile Clayton and all that. He ain't gonna be able to take those flush shots like that. You know what I mean? I just think that's the most competitive fight that we could get Boots in right now that don't involve Bud or Earl. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the most competitive fight we can get him in that don't involve Bud or Earl. Where was I at? He said most of these fighters buy into the Boots hype. Ellis not going to do that. Ellis can box from either stance, and Ellis not scared of dude. Ellis will spawn world champions at 22. For sure. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on. He said they could put Crowley in there with Boots. I don't know if Crowley ready for Boots. I don't think that'll be a competitive fight. You know what I mean? I want to see, competitive fights. I think Crowley right now, it'll be too early to throw Crowley in their Boots. Now, Speedy Rashidi Ellis, I think, is ready. No questions asked. Conor Benn don't got no questions to be asked. I mean, Conor Benn, still got questions to answer. I don't think he ready for Boots. Boutier, trash. Stanionis still got questions to answer. I don't think he ready for Boots. You know what I mean? I think he washed. Pretty much everybody not named Earl the Bud. Keith Thurman got a shot, but I think Keith Thurman just too far over the hill to compete with Boots. You know what I mean? I think prime for prime right now, Speedy Rashidi Ellis posed the best shot to beat Jerome Boots Ennis right now. Hold on, let me see where I'm in the chat. I'm trying to read every comment today. You know, he's the Ellis. The Ellis B. Jose Mafu. Yeah, Marafu. Gary Antoine fought him too. They both got him out in the round. He said they could feel how they feel them facts. Athleticism isn't an opinionated thing. It's based on facts. He's faster everywhere, fast reflexes, more explosive, and so on. Damn, Ghost. I don't know if it's just that clear cut, but yeah. It's close. Hey, Boozy got more power. Better fighter than Ellis. Hey, Boozy cannot play with Ellis when it comes to athletic ability. Ellis is not a washed up bum. And you're going to touch Ellis. You're not going to touch Ellis behind the head. Ellis got KOs and legal shots. He don't throw a legal back at the head shots and get dudes out of there with them. Go through any of Boost fights, you will see multiple illegal back of the head shots, which hurt dudes and start to demise the majority of his fights. That's a fact. Demetrius Bryant, what's good? My guy Go said that, by the way. Demetrius Bryant, what's good? Appreciate you signing through this, John Demetrius. Glad you can make it. TWT in the building. Glad you can make it, pimp. Glad you can make it. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy as you roll on in. We're here talking about this good old 147. I'm in here playing matchmaker. But fights that actually make sense. But you know when fights make too much sense, they never happen. You know what I mean? Shout out my guy Demetrius Bryant. They like Boots. He just need to bring it down a little. What you mean, Fox need to bring it down a little? This is Luke Ghost. What's your latest and greatest? What's good, pimp? There's Jerome Watson touching them shots he take from those bones. Welcome to this shot against a nigga who hit judges hard and box well, faster than you. Do that. Try it. You going to sleep, my guy. Okay, I'm finally caught up. He's at 21. And he ranked. You talking about Cody Crowder? Yeah, Crowder nice. I think Crowder can beat a lot of people. I just don't think he can compete with Boots. Not Boots. Not just yet anyway. Come on. Not just yet anyway. Cody Crowder and Boutier should fight or some shit like that. When the Hacken said Thurman is a gatekeeper, he didn't take care of his money. Take care of his money, make his body. Oh, he didn't take care of his money maker, his body. Thurman wishing on the stop for a payday. He might get it with Conor Benn. No, Joe was good. The Boost is great, but he's overrated. Oh, shit. That he had done shit in the ring to be this great boogeyman. When I bring him a real folks, let to bring up head movement, across his feet, where Boost do the same. It's on tape. Yeah, I think Boost can beat Crawford. Oh, shit. No. You know what I was saying earlier? Some people feel like Boost beat everybody. You know what I mean? Some people feel like he beat everybody. I keep saying, you know, everybody except Earl and Bud, but some people feel like he beat Earl and Bud too. But you know, right now, he can't fight Earl or Bud. So what'll be the next best thing? I say the next best thing would be Speedy. As far as being able to compete in a multitude of areas, the Boots is overrated. He has not proven he is what everyone says he is. Fighting and being washed up bums, fighting and being Ellis is a different game. Until he proved himself, he's overrated. Damn. Damn, go. Coach Joe. Appreciate you to this young Coach Joe. TWT in the building was good. I'm taking my lunch break right here. While I talk to y'all. Mid-stride. Keeping it going. The Thurman is legitimate world champ who has done everything who's just hoping to do in the future. All need to put some respect on their dude and his achievements. The Thurman was not scared enough boots. He fought Hills on his way to unify with one arm. Cadelo back. Oh, came back and fought Manny with no drug testing. As Manny requested, he is not sweet. Did fight Manny with no drug test. That might say, I don't need no drug test. I wonder if Thurman regret that now. Foxy Brown, what's good, Fox? Yeah, Foxy Brown. To the Bronx business men in years stay in top shape. These fight if I want to. I'm walking around out of shape. Wow. Foxy Brown said a little something. Keep up the good work. Shout out to my girl Foxy. Appreciate you, Foxy. Appreciate you. Yeah, go snapping, man. Ghost is snapping. Oh. Say, I'm in the cheeseburger. A cheeseburger from the mom and pop joint. Cheeseburger from the mom and pop joint. Little diner. I'm so smashing over here. My bad, y'all. I'm taking my lunch right now. As I talk to y'all. My bad. Tay, what's good? I'm talking to you, but I ain't greet you. They can't wait to see Lomachenko back. Me either. I want to see who the hell you gonna fight. I want to see his head back too. I want to know who he got. You know, be snapping. He might go in. So let me get some of them fried. Yeah, you watching the game, lady? Hell yeah. I got a WNBA game on right now. I need to be trying to see about, I think 2 of them, shit. I think 2 of them, shit. Coach Joe. I give you the famous Coach Joe. Coach Joe TWT in the building. Tay MMA. We just decided to do this young Tay TWT in the building. Glad y'all good folks could make it. He said that's a country burger. I got fries too, sir. Got fries too, sir. And I like my fries crunchy. You a soft fries eating? You a soft fry guy? You soft fry guy is weird, man. You a soft fry guy? See, I'm chilling at home, relaxing. Just took an aspirin. My head hurts from these. What they say? What they say? Beauty hurts. I thought they say beauty hurts. Beauty hurts. Take. That's what they say. That's what they say. I mean, I won't know because I'm ugly though, but they say beauty hurts. He said Devin need to stop using Tang name. Then he stopped, and I'm glad for none did that segment with Bill Hayden. Set the record straight. No cloud chasing 22. We sick of that. These dudes be lying and making shit up. We talk sport with Lil Camp. Man. My bad, y'all. I'm feeding my face. Appreciate y'all sliding through this, job. I'm ignoring Ghost Day. I get so deep. Beauty is pain, man. Beauty is pain. Beauty is pain. And then goes, peace, God. Oh. Cody Banks said, in my opinion, Ryan Beach tank. Wow. So I guess ain't no point in asking you who you got this weekend home. But no, I'm gonna do 10 more minutes. I'm gonna give it 2 hours. And I'm gonna call it a wrap. I gotta get take that shit up on the site. Got a little business to take care of. I'm gonna go 10 more minutes. I like round numbers. In my opinion, I like round numbers. So I'm gonna clear about 9 more. But yeah, man, it's time. It's time all these guys stop, looking up at only the top guys, right? And start knocking some of these dudes off along the way. How the hell do you get ranked in the top 5 and not fight any top 10 guys? Boxing got some explaining to do, man. How do Virgil Ortiz, Conor Benn, Gerard Ennis, Evans Senior. Y'all say Red OG. Stanionis. How the fuck they get ranked in the top 5, top 7, without fighting a top 5 or top 7 guy? Or better yet, how do you continue to stay there without fighting the top 5 or 7 guy? Because let's say you got there and you fought a bum who was ranked 7. Okay, cool. But how do you stay in the top 5 without fighting the top 5 guy? Make it make sense. Come on. Gotta make it make sense, man. But that's boxing, though. That's boxing, though. That's a sport that we love, man. Shit don't make sense. The potential for undisputed number is as long as it's shown in the top 15, maybe. So you fight a guy in the top 15. Let's say you rank 18. You fight a guy ranked 15, right? You move to 15. I'm not necessarily asking, like, how do you do it, like, by the rule, right? Not how you do it by rule. I'm like, how do these people do it as fighters, right? How do you do it as a fighter? Call yourself a top guy, but don't fight no top guy. Move. How do that let you be ranked number 4? You go skip 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you go keep fighting dudes that come in at 11 and 12 and 13 and shit. After a while, now I'm putting that pressure on them. After a while, they got to stop that. No. Now, being active, what I'm saying, they fighting. They just ain't fighting, you know what I mean, nobody. And Boots ain't fought, Now, Boots got the best resume as a total, right? But he ain't fought, a prime guy. Ain't none of these young guys fought another young guy. Butiev and Stanionis about the closest thing. And Butiev average. So even though he in his prime, he's still regular as hell. So he in his prime just regular as hell. You know what I mean? talking about, dude. This is why I say at least top 15, yeah. But still, man, if they keep fighting top 15, guys, they need to have a rule against it. You still go keep skipping the top 10, the top 5. Folks gotta do better, man. I'm challenging them as fighters. Like, how do they keep doing that? I know the sanction advisor and shit go allow it because they trash. But if you a fighter, you supposed to, how you keep doing it after you already a champion. You know what I mean? And I ain't trying to reserve nobody or none, you know what I mean, type shit. But in this case, that don't even matter because these guys are already on the other side. These guys are already seasoned, 25 plus, you know what I mean? 25 and older. It's time, man. Try to see he got between. That's why I touched on in my video regarding level, different divisions, like MMA do. Yeah. But look, y'all finna get up out of here. But before I do get up out of here, Skin hard way 17. It's ain't the past, it's ain't the future, just the present. Just have it rocking, and I'm out. Love.